Uh, Food breaks and food is really important for us that you guys have food in your stomachs, that you're not hungry, and that's draining your energy. And so we have uh, every client that we work for knows because of a contract that we've signed that you're entitled to receive food from them or at least have your food covered if it's over 5 hours of working time. And the different kinds of event will also provide for different kinds of routines there. If you do a private small event like a wedding, of course they'll have food for you. You would be probably eating from the same table as the bride and groom are. One thing we want you to do when you meet the client in the start or the contact person in the start is to say where is the food that when is the food break, or where is the green room. If it's a big event, they'll have a green room for the staff and for the supply, like the vendors. So ask for the green room, and if and when the food is served. If no food is served and you are working long days, it's your responsibility to make sure that you can get yourself some food. Be that you leave the venue and buy yourself some food. We've had fotobaristas who have to go to the bar themselves and order some food at a hotel because the food for the client, for the guests is not, there's not enough for the staff. First of all, 80% of our events, there is food there. We do a lot of holiday parties and events where there's a seating of and serving of the guests. So 80% you will see there is food there. Part of your job is to know when the staff food is served. So clarify staff food times / location. And that is part of your job when you arrive at an event. Assess the situation, find out what the plan for the day is, when will the breaks be, so that you can plan for yourself to have some downtime at a good point of the day. If you're rigging, if you've been driving for 2 hours to get to the event and you've been rigging for 1.5 hours, you know that you should probably try to get something to eat as soon as you get there. If it's nothing else than a little snack, then at least try to take responsibility for your own body's needs when it comes to food. Normally the events are quite well planned in relation to this, the staff and when they receive food. But they might not always approach you. You might actually have to approach them and ask that. So yeah, clarify the staff food times and the location of that. So 80% thereby will be covered. What happens in the rest 20%? Elisa, in response to your question, we have a system for how you are to be reimbursed for any costs that you have related to Fotobar. And part of your job involves that you have to pay for certain things and expect then that to be reimbursed on your next paycheck. Those things include parking fees, food. That's about it. Those two things are the main things that you will see that you have expenses on. So no expenses related to the car do you need to think about. Oh, well, if you're traveling, there is you might have to pay for some extra luggage if you're overweight or something on the luggage. But those are special, or if you're taking the train to the airport or such things, or the airplane bus. So the way we've organized this 20% where you have to spend money on food in the name of Fotobar, and all the others. In your report, you need to submit these receipts, and we have a very organized way of doing it because we receive a lot of these receipts. It's very important that you read the rules for how to deliver these reports with the receipts well and do it correctly, because then Alex in accounting won't have to ask you to redo it or to and especially it's very sad if you lose something like a receipt. So we encourage you to submit the report immediately after the event along with the receipts and the correct documentation. And of these 20%, probably 5 to 10% are shorter than that time frame. So if the event is under 5 hours from you leave the office till you go back, you're not entitled to food from the client or from us. In which case I would ask you to plan your own food, to have some snacks or something with you, which is a good idea to do anyways. I always bring a chocolate bar, a muesli bar, or something with me if I go to an event, so that I'm prepared for anything. At these events, there's often very, very good food, and you get to eat like delicious dinners. I mean, it's usually what everyone else eats, and it's good food. So that's a big upside.